So you had the background and reference point of being provincial executive. Now you're in Congress. Do you feel like you're in Twilight Zone sometimes? No?
Yes, well, you know, I must admit that during the first few months, I really had quite a culture shock. Because when it was, for the past 9 years, a daily habit of waking up very, very early in the morning, and the first thing that would come to my mind would be, what's my schedule for today? You know, in Congress, you only have sessions in the afternoon.
Yes.
We do have committee hearings, which I try as much as possible to attend. But it was still a culture shock, and I became even more, parang nawala ako sa bearings ko when after a few months, recess
Parang
na.
you're not from that world.
Tapos na.
Bakit may recess? I said, recess, and then balik kami. And then recess na naman. I said, wow, we always have recess. I never had even a single day break when I was governor. I was still working on Good Friday or, you know, attending some ceremony in some southern town. So I said, wow, my father and my brother never told me that Congress can be this easy.
Especially for a communicator like you, di ba?
That's true, but it's, hindi naman, many people expect me to, you know, get bored but I'm psyching myself naman to
to adjust to it, yes.
Yes, to adjust to the position and to answer still my responsibilities as now a representative of the 3rd District. I saw that my responsibilities were dual in nature. You come to Manila, you legislate. You attend committee hearings, you have to keep abreast of all issues as much as possible. And a very, very important thing is, you know, to be a team player. To be able to get along with your colleagues.
That's a discipline by itself already. To try to get along with 200 voices.
Kasi when I was governor, they all had to get along with me.
Of course.
Because I had to make the decisions.
Yeah.
Sabi ko nga, wow, when I was governor noon, pag may meeting scheduled, if I'm late, hindi rin makaumpisa yung meeting. If I don't arrive, hindi matuloy yung meeting. Ngayon, pag may meeting, malate ako, tuloy pa rin yung meeting. I mean, it's different. But on the other hand, iba yung life mo sa Manila from the life that you have in the district. Because then you're back to your people. You're back to, siguro, in a much, much smaller scale. Where before, I used to serve 44 towns and 7 cities and 1,600 barangays. Ngayon, I'm only serving 6 towns and 1 city and 230 barangays. But the needs are the same. They need help when hospitalization of some members of their family are concerned. They need help for scholarships for their children that want to go on to college. They need help when somebody dies in the family and they cannot even
So many
afford.
concerns, no?
Oo. Kaya, yun, parang ano pa rin, it has become still a continuation of what I have been trying to do. Although, it's different ngayon kasi wala na nga kaming PDAF.
Okay.
Di ba?
But you're also handling committees and chairmanship in the Congress.
Well, ngayon, I'm a member of 10 committees. But as a neophyte, you cannot be a chair. So I'm chair person of one of the committees, which is basic education.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So, ano advocacy? What is your advocacy in Congress?
As a woman, of course,
Yes, of course.
I would support all laws or all bills that would protect the dignity of women, the Filipina especially. And I just had a bill passed, and this is an amendment to the Family Code, which would now impose further requirements to foreign nationals that would come to marry Filipinas. Kasi ngayon, ang kailangan lang yung Certificate of Legal Capacity to marry.
Yes.
We were able to pass it on committee level at it has passed the plenary level. Nasa Senate na. Yung amendment ko na i-add natin yung, first of all, that certificate that this foreigner is engaged in gainful trade or is gainfully employed or has a legal income.
Walang criminal record.
And second, that's the second, that he has to have,
totoo,
he has to have a certificate of good moral character. Kasi yun na nga, well, it caused a lot of discussion talaga. And one of the questions was, why are we imposing this? Sabi ko, wow, if you apply for a job here, kailangan mo nga ng NBI clearance.
Correct,
eh.
oo.
Correct.
And here's this foreigner who comes here to marry. Alam mo naman, helpless na helpless, especially Filipinos that come from, from the poor
And I agree with that
barangays.
because there are sub-stories where you have Filipinas, married by foreigners, insured for $1 million, and all of a sudden they're brought to the States
Oh.
and namamatay sila
Correct.
under mysterious circumstances.
Correct.
There have
Pinepera lang ng foreigner.
So many horror stories
Yes.
of Filipinas that become insurance capital.
Yes.
Or Filipinas that become maids.
Yes.
And they are kept imprisoned in their
Yes.
own
And
households.
prostitutes.
Yes. Kasi, yun na nga, what else would happen if this foreigner talaga is a moral derelict,
Yes.
is a vagabond who just
Correct.
comes here to prey
Yes.
on our helpless Filipinas?
Ang mahirap dyan, may mga foreigners partner na they marry a Filipina and then they get a divorce and then they marry another Filipina.
No.
A string of Filipinas, ha? And that is happening.
Parang serial killer.
Ito, serial marriage.
Serial marriage.
Oo.
Kumikita sila ron eh.
Paiba-iba.
Paiba-iba. Pag dinala ron, siyempre, citizenship eh.
Oo.
Yun ang inahabol ng mga Pilipina rito.
Oo.
Ah,
Both your parents are lawyers.
That's right.
And how was it like growing as the eldest? Baka pwede natin pakita yung picture nung mga magulang niya.
My mother even went on to become an RTC judge.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And how is
So-
that being the eldest in the family? And this is a picture shot of
Governor.
former governor and deputy speaker Pabling Garcia and your mother, no?
My
I think
mother
she's
just
an awardee
received
here.
an award, yes.
She's an awardee.
Yes.
Oo.
Well, growing up in a household where both your parents are lawyers teaches you to be able to prepare your arguments very well or else you will be overruled.
Correct.
Parang
Nasa korte ka.
I would hear them discussing cases, when we're eating. And so it hones your instincts that whenever you want to ask for something or even ask permission, you better be ready with all of your good reasons.
Ang galing.
And argumentation and debate, kailangan magaling ka.
Oo.
And then we have a picture here, and I think si Mrs. Garcia is an awardee. Ayan. Yan, lakihan natin yung picture. Si Judge, ikumpleto mo. What was this parang cooperative that your mother...
My
your
mother started a cooperative
Yes.
more than 46 years
Yeah.
ago with less than 200 pesos in capital
Okay.
and less than 20 members.
Okay.
And now it has grown to a co-op that is now in the Hall of Fame of the Gawad Pitak Award
Wow.
and Hall of Famer, and now has about 7 billion in assets and over 70,000 members.
Wow.
It has branches in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So I used to say, we're 8 siblings.
That was supposed to be my next question. How can you live in 8, 8 sa loob ng bahay, partner? How is that
Big
possible?
family.
Wow. You should see us during meal times. My brother Winston
Yeah.
used to say, kasi pag nakita nila ako, and I'm with Winston, my brothers are big.
Oo nga,
They're stocky and all. So they would ask,
Nice guy.
why is Gwen and your other sisters, so petite and
Yeah,
slim? Well, you brothers are huge
Really?
and big and
Oh,
stocky.
big, oh.
And he would say, every mealtime, this is what he would say. Every mealtime, when the cook says, okay, it's mealtime na,
Oo.
we brothers, we just fling aside yung mga babae para kami mauna sa ulam, sa pagkain, lahat. By the time they arrive, wala nang pagkain. Kaya tingnan mo yan, mga malnourished.
That's a good one. Galing.
Okay. You were into broadcasting, journalism also, communications basically.
That's right. I took up broadcast communications
Wow.
in UP in the 70s. At the time when, it is now called the College of Mass Communication, but at the
Okay.
time it was still the IMC, or the
Oh,
Institute of Mass Communication.
Correct.
I think we were contemporaries at that time.
Kamistuhan kayo.
Yes.
Okay.
And at that time, it was a relatively new course.
Course,
Nobody understood
Communication.
really what mass communication was all
comm.
about, what broadcast communication
Yes,
was all
yes.
about. But I was so interested in the media and its power, the power of being able to inform or even shape public opinion.
Yes.
I was so interested even in production
Yes.
of shows.
Uh-huh.
In fact, I think we're both in that field. Your father used to own a radio station
Yes.
where I had my internship
How
in
nice.
DYRE.
Maliit lang talaga ang mundo. Okay.
Yes, so there I learned everything, from I was a talk show host. I even dabbled in drama a bit in DYRE, which stands for
wow.
your father's initials.
Wow.
Rene Espina.
I didn't even know that. Partner, hindi ko talaga alam ngayon. I have a vignette to talk about and share, no?
Yes. I was with Indaynita at the
Daluz,
time.
yes.
Yes, Indaynita Daluz.
Uh-huh.
And Romy Santa Cruz was the
Yes.
station manager.
Does your father still manage to advise you at his age, or do you still seek his advice somehow?
I do. Every Sunday, I make it a point to be with them for
Okay.
lunch.
Okay.
I ask all of my siblings to join us.
Uh-huh.
I bring food there. I know his favorites, the budo, this is salty fish, and the crabs. I bring what I can, and Mom also prepares, very, very sumptuous lunch. My brothers are there, and I report to him. I said, Dad, I refiled this bill that you had filed earlier. It hadn't reached committee level, but now it has passed. He was very happy about these additional requirements. I also was able to pass on plenary the reversion to the conjugal partnership instead of the absolute community property regime
Yes.
under the new family code,
Yes.
which was his pet bill too. This has passed in plenary. And I seek his advice on certain, ways on handling the dynamics,
Okay.
shall we call it, of being in Congress. How to, if he knew this congressman, and
okay.
if
That will help.
what was,
Yeah.
it helps me
Yes.
to understand and to get along with my colleagues. He has very, very strong opinions regarding the BBL, or the Bangsamoro Basic
Yes.
Law.
And because you say that he has a welcome invitation to my program, anytime he's in Manila, we can discuss about the BBL, and I'm extending my personal invitation to be my privilege to have him here to discuss the BBL. Please
correct.
extend that to him.
Thank you, Eric. I will relay that
Yes, please.
to my father.
Yes.
I'm sure he'll be very, very happy.
Yes.
He's actually preparing a position paper
Yes.
regarding the BBL.
BBL.
Yes.
And I want the public to know how young is he?
Oh, he just turned 89 last 25th of September.
Very sharp. At 89, very sharp.
And baby face, ha?
Oo.
Baby
Kasi
face
ano
siya.
siya, oo.
Banat yung face niya.
Pero very sharp ang
Lingkod.
mag-isip, very lucid ang at 89.
Oh, yes.
Oo.
He can rattle off provisions of a particular Republic Act and the number and the
Very
section.
articulate.
Oo.
Very articulate.
And he, well, up to now, they miss him in Congress.
Oo nga.
Congressmen would approach me and say, send my regards to your dad.
Water.
If he were here, he would be debating with
Yes,
Congressman
galing,
Elsa
galing.
Lagman and the two of them,
Yes,
kasi
yes.
sila palagi yung
I heard him
magkakaan.
talk in Congress, galing talaga.
Yes. He also really studies and researches.
Correct.
And
Always prepared.
I've always said that he was in his element in Congress. He did not enjoy himself that much
Okay.
as governor. But in Congress, well, he's recognized as the constitutionalist of the
Yeah.
House. And I think that was where he really shone.
Oo. Workaholic talaga.
Oh,
Really
wow.
workaholic.
He would be there in the morning, even though presence niya kailangan naman ng in the afternoon, but andyan siya.
When you were governor, you partnered with several cities, no? And
Several cities outside of the Philippines,
Okay.
but we did partner also with some provinces in the Philippines, like Ilocos Norte.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
And Antique.
Okay.
And
And I remember during the time in Negros when they had that earthquake or typhoon, you
I
were
was there.
very present. You were traveling. Nandun ito sa Negros.
Talaga.
Yes.
Tinutulungan yung mga